to this process to be restrictive here on the floor with regard to amendments on appropriations. That was really a dark day for liberty. And it's really very, very unfortunate. I understand the Speaker wants to rule the House with a mighty hand and is utilizing the Rules Committee to make Congress an undemocratic institution. The American people are watching. They know that there's something going on in Washington, D.C. that's not right. They don't completely understand all this process, but they know something they do know and understand, and that's freedom, and that's liberty. And so we're charged with this responsibility to care for those whom now have been injured, not only in the workplace, but also on the battlefield, who wear the uniform. But when it comes time then for us to have an open discussion and debate on how best to do that, freedoms are denied. Pretty weird, pretty strange, very peculiar. As the ranking member of the Veterans Affairs Committee, I want to thank that 3 amendments were made in order, but there are also 2 amendments that were not made in order. The first amendment that was not made in order would have transferred $230 million from the Information Technology System account to fund improvements in various other programs. In 2010, the VA conducted a review of its major IT initiatives. Of over 300 programs that were reviewed, about 100 are still active or are in planning, and about 100 are still being reviewed, and about the other 100 have been stopped permanently or have been paused. This amendment would have taken the $230 million in savings from this review and put $130 million towards deficit reduction, and used the remaining $100 million to increase the following VA accounts: medical and prosthetic research by $50 million to fund further research into new innovative treatments such as the hyperbaric oxygen therapy for TBI, along with the prosthetic devices for female amputees who often have difficulties with the fit and size of traditional prosthesis tailored to the male physique, helmets that measure the G-force impact and protect our service members from these blast injuries. VBA, also with regard to the VBA general operating account, increase it by $2 million for VA to conduct an authorized longitudinal study for the VR&E participants to assess the effectiveness of the program. Also then increase the VHA medical services account by $48 million, $30 million to improve VA's suicide prevention programs, including $100 million for the National Broadcast Suicide Prevention Advertising Campaign, $10 million for the VA to improve its services for homeless women veterans and homeless veterans with children, and $8 million for innovative treatments for TBI and mental health. Does that sound radical? That was made not in order. It's hard. It's hard. That was not made in order. Now they say, okay, why? I don't know. The Rules Committee didn't give me an answer. That should have been made in order. That's something that should have been discussed. We have had a challenge here with regard to the IT systems at the VA. And I leave here in 6 months, and these, the appropriators and the authorizers are going to have a real challenge here, especially as you go forward. Now, fortunately, once we centralize the IT architecture, you've got a really good Roger Baker as the Chief Information Officer, very talented individual, doing assessments. The Secretary Shinseki, he gets it. He understands. He's doing this review. But when we take down projects and we've got those monies, we can make judgments and choices with regard to use some of those dollars. And that's what we sought to do here. And that amendment should, in fact, have been made in order. And it's really unfortunate. Gentleman, yield an additional minute.
Additional minute.
Gentleman is recognized for an additional minute.
There is another amendment, and I know Mr. Speaker, my good friend Chairman Edwards had some concerns about one of the amendments that, in fact, was made in order. And I understand. And we can have a colloquy and we can get into that, because I know you agree with what we're doing. Mr. Speaker, I believe that Chairman Edwards agrees with the initiatives and working with, or I guess we can call them green initiatives, green management initiatives, but it's the renewable energy portfolio that's being done down at the VA. And it's really this advance appropriation, it's making it hard on how we move monies between accounts at the same time of what type of amendments can be brought to the floor. I mean, I tried to do this a couple years ago, and the parliamentarian knocked an amendment out. And so I wanted to raise this issue on the floor that we have about 60 projects out there, around $162 million, and we got to figure out how to best fund these. And I'll get into that with the speaker later. So my intention is not to offer that amendment that has been authorized to offer, and I'll work this out with Chairman Edwards. But I'm going to ask to oppose the rule, even though I compliment the good work that the committee has done, but we need an open process.
Gentleman's time has expired. Gentlelady from Maine.
I will reserve.
Gentlelady reserves. Gentleman from Florida.
Speaker, it's my pleasure to yield 5 minutes to my friend, the distinguished ranking member of the Rules Committee, Mr. Dreyer, California.
Gentleman from California is recognized for 5 minutes.
Speaker, as unanimous consent, if I can extend my remarks.
Without objection.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I thank my friend from Miami for his very thoughtful remarks, and I listened to his opening statement in which he talked about the greatness of this bill. This is a bipartisan bill, as has been pointed out by Mr. Crenshaw, has been pointed out by Mr. Bouyer, and Democrats and Republicans alike have come together because obviously if we don't take care of our nation's veterans, how are we going to incent our fellow Americans to join the armed services when commitments are made to them? They need to be kept. And so we all want to do everything that we can for the brave men and women who have fought in behalf and served in behalf of the United States of America. Obviously, I'm here with a degree of sadness. I wasn't here for the exchange that took place when our friend Mr. Flake was here, but I've been told that my good friend from North Haven, who's managing this bill for the majority, this rule for the majority, indicated that if we'd had an open amendment process, we would be allowing partisan obstructionism or something along that line to take place. And, Mr. Speaker, it's very interesting that we have made what I consider to be rather sad history in this place. My friend from North, new member of this institution, and has not once in her 18 months as a member of the United States House of Representatives been able to witness or participate in a bill being debated under an open amendment process. And so I've got to say that until it is tried, I would say to my friend, Mr. Speaker, until it's tried, I think that the notion of passing judgment on the problems of an open rule should really not be brought forward. And I will tell you that it is clear that an open amendment process is messier and uglier and more difficult than having everything shut down. But that's really what the framers of our Constitution wanted. They wanted there to be a free-flowing discussion. I just listened to Mr. Bouyer a few minutes ago talking about the Green Initiative, and he wanted to engage in a colloquy with Chairman Edwards about this.